So mirror cancel.
Mirror cancel, we use this one. Because it kind of is a mirror. Like, it's reflective a little bit. And I think it will look sick with the light. We'll just have to get Rio to put a blue LED along the top of the sofa bench. I will check. We'd have to do the LED first, right? And then put this one. If I wanted the LED straight across the back, blue one, you had to put this first and then the stuff. Okay, I definitely want this. Let's order it. As long as the price is not crazy. Order it, and then when the panels come, we won't install it right away. We'll figure out if we have to put the LED on the bottom first and then put the panel, or put the panel down and then put the LED on the top. Okay. But do we have to leave a gap for the LED, or?
I think so, yeah. It's like the, you know, this wall. This is named LED, right? On top. So we make that little gap.
Okay. So side to side is correct. We can fill that, but then whatever that width is on those LED panels, the same one that we have out there, take that from the top, take that from the bottom, and that's our height. Okay.
Here, it's a gap in there, so it's hidden. Yeah.
Interview, please.
I gotta get this right. I don't want to fuck it up. So this is the product with no light, right? Same one. Leave the white how it is, because I think we need consistency all the way around the top. But then the only thing that will change is by doing a hidden LED blue on the bottom. Let's see if we can push that, because I really want that area ready for the UFC in a couple of weeks, so we can have like a bit of an event here. So we have literally like 2 weeks to push, which means we probably need the order done in like the next couple of days, and then a week of shipping, and then 5 days to install, something like that. That's the target. Okay.
What you wanna know about?
Take the business hat off, put the bodybuilder hat on.
I just bought the 12 gauge. Her and I took a shot. That was back in summery. Last Springs, baby. Last Springs, baby, on my own shit. Barely leak, oh shit.
Just got the wallpaper fixed. I think it looks so much better now. It was like wrinkling and unwrapping in some areas, but now it's like, it's perfect.
Shall we move? Shall we move? Shall
You
we
like
move?
this as well?
Yeah.
Added that. I think it's just much cleaner. Like
Yeah.
everyone was sitting down and they were like scuffing the paint, and it was going dirty and gross. I think the stainless looks so much nicer. And
So much better now, better looking.
yeah, I'm happy with that choice. It's the little things, man. The little things. Most gym owners probably don't care about that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like the little details is what's gonna make us known, and what is gonna separate us. You know, there's some big new gyms that have opened recently in Bali, and you know, there's just no way that I'll be able to compete with that sort of size member base, and nor would I want to. But you know, I think we can win in our own ways by, you know, just being savages with regards to attention to detail, making sure everything's perfect, like truly trying to build the best athlete experience possible. I feel like that's where I can really deliver, and where other gym owners, you know, they just won't be able to match me, either because they don't have the time and patience to do so, or they don't have the care for it.
Got away, getting away.
Sunday morning, rainy days, and undefeated. Just doesn't get any better than that.
Says a lot. Keep that word in my head. Oh my, she got away, doing the same. Still it's never the same. She's never my baby.
The downside of me being extremely anal with how clean I want the gym floors, because they're still pretty fucking slippery.
Got time for me. It's never what they say, it's never been there. I just keep my head down, see that. Shall we move? Shall we move? Shall we move? It's never what they say, it's never been there. I just keep my head down.
That's nice. I don't know if this is just like a me problem, or if other people go through this and they don't talk about it so much, but once I reach a certain threshold of body weight, which is really anything above 112, 113, I just feel absolutely horrible, like borderline unhealthy. And I don't know if that's just because my baseline in my mind is a very functional, fit, athletic, lean person, but if I'm being like truthfully honest, I hate how I feel right now. You know, sleeping is difficult. I can't wear clothes. I hate how I look. The breathing, you know, you're breathing like a rhinoceros. You walk upstairs and you're like heaving. The tightness and the water retention and the distension from a big amount of food that you have to have, you know, the whole body just feels tight and inflamed. And like I said, like, I don't know if that's just a me thing, and or if it actually is common, but people are just, you know, not so honest or open to sharing that side of the process, and you know, maybe when they are going through these phases or seasons, they just, you know, stay away from social media a bit, posting old contents, or, you know, fearful for maybe getting some backlash, you know, from their followings if they, you know, show up looking puffy and bloated and swollen in the face and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm sticking with it, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that every couple of days I have this internal dialogue or internal wrestle with myself where I start considering, you know, ending the bulk and starting a prep or doing a mini cut. So it's a constant tug of war. Deep down, I know that I need to push through it, because I know that I need the new size, and the new size doesn't come with ease, but it's definitely not an enjoyable part of the season for me, or an enjoyable part of the process. You know, maybe people see all the food and think that it might be a little bit of a cakewalk, but you know, your enjoyment for food fades away very quickly, and the day-to-day well-being goes down quite substantially. Like, really the only time you feel decent is when you're pushing weight in the gym, and then for your other 22, 23 hours, everything has felt, you know, mighty uncomfortable. But we haven't pulled the pin yet, so today's another day to win. Cardiovascular fitness, even though it's like you're not getting unfitter, you're just less efficient. You're like fitness to weight ratio gets like exponentially worse. Do one set of like 10 reps and it's cardiovascularly taxing, whereas when you do it when you're lean, 45 seconds and you're recovered.
So do you actually prefer the bulking one or the cutting one?
If you ask me like 2 weeks out from prep or 2 weeks out from a contest, I'd probably say, yeah, the off season's way better. But now that I can like actually think objectively, the cutting phase is far more enjoyable for me because there's just so many more upsides. Like, yes, you are hungry, and yes, your like energy goes low, but to be honest, like when you're eating this much and you're this heavy, you don't feel energetic and bouncy around. You feel sluggish as well. So when people say like, oh, like you have so much energy in the building phase, it's just not true, especially not when you're like pushing it aggressively like I am. I mean, if you're doing a long extended 18-month like lean build, then yeah, I'm sure you feel quite okay. But energy to energy, I feel like it's quite comparable. Like you feel sluggish during the depths of the cutting phase, and you feel sluggish during the depths of the building phase. And yes, you're hungry in the cutting phase, but you also don't want to eat in the building phase. So on the food side of things, it's kind of comparably difficult or challenging as well. But then on the cutting phase side, you like how you look, your well-being is better. For me personally, like I like how clothes fit, I like looking athletic, I like feeling fit, I like feeling athletic, I like being able to run and move and feel mobile, and you just don't get any of that during the building phase. So for me, you know, hands down, I'm a cutting phase guy, and if I'm being really honest, I don't know how many more bulks I've got in me. You know, I think this could well and truly be the last one maybe, and I can't see into a crystal ball, and a lot will depend on how the competitions go, but I can really imagine myself being, this is the last like aggressive bulk, and then from here on just like slow, small refinements and like lean builds and lean gains. But for me to be able to like earn the right to do that, or to be able to pursue that path, I need to accumulate the baseline of tissue first, which means, you know, I have to push on with this bulk aggressively to acquire the new tissue rapidly. But then, you know, after this, if all goes to plan and I can put on the lean tissue, the muscle mass that I want, then, you know, I think, you know, the C-bomb approach of having time off after your show and like having some normality, living a bit like a normal human, not having to push the body weight real high, not getting, you know, puffed out in the face and puffed out in the ankles, and not hating food, that seems like a more preferable approach for me, and then just dialing it in for the prep. But C-bomb can only do that because he has the baseline of tissue there, and for someone like me who's just doesn't have that base yet, it means I need to grind during the off season for now.
What's your plan?
Something I didn't think about, there's not really any storage up here for like bags, water bottles, stuff like that. So gonna build an L-shaped locker or open locker that fills this area, like three layers, and then where the electric is going in there, going to build a hydration zone where we'll have like the water cooler, but then also an ice machine with like cups, so you can take the cup there, get your ice, get the water. I feel like that's a small cool little thing that no one else does. And iced water in Bali, major key.
So you're saying you're creating your own bar?
Yeah. Ice bar, ice water bar.
Now,
A small touch, but I think it's cool.
now you're gonna post it and someone gonna have to do it.
100%, they're already doing that. I was thinking like maybe I should, because I know people are watching my moves, because there's certain things I'm seeing the other gyms doing that no one was ever doing before until I did them here. Now it's showing up again. So I was thinking maybe I'll like put some red herrings and distract the competition by like showing fake things that I'm not actually putting in my gym. So maybe I'll be like, guys, we got 5 vibration machines on the way. Can't wait. See if like the other gyms fall for it and buy them as well.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Who the jiggy nigga with the gold links? Got me reminiscing about my old days. 3-6 sucker nigga dick, no foreplay. All day, booming out the trap through the hallway. Tell me what you niggas know about. Auntie saying turn it down, or she finna call the cops. We been plotting on
I'm
the ops. She
eating
the one who got the
like Burger King every night for my bulking. Why it's still bulking, bro? Like I think for 3 Burger King, 1,500 calories. I did every.
Chat about your definition of bulking. Really, Burger King?
Yeah, like it's a lot of calories, bro.
I'm gonna start calling you Big Whopper.
Yeah, the Whopper one.
Not the Whopper.
Yeah, those are the one I ordered. 100K, they give you 3, and that's what
It's too cheap to get fat.
it's
Yeah, I'm not. It's calories, but I'm not having so many Whoppers in my diet.
So we are bulking anyway.
Yeah, but okay, let's get into this. It is a calorie game at the end of the day, but I do think the quality of the calories is going to matter, because if let's say we're having 3 Whoppers for lunch, and that's a lot of calories, 100%, but because there's so much fat in that, and because that food is difficult to digest, and it can cause upset stomach and things like that, then you're probably not going to be able to eat again 2 to 3 hours later. And when you're actually trying to build good muscle over time, we need to supply the body with protein every 2 to 4 hours at least. We can't be waiting for long gaps. So if I had, if I finished my training and I went and had 3 burgers, that would be a lot of calories, but I'd probably be so full and my digestion would be so slow that I probably wouldn't be able to eat until dinner time again. So I do think you need to be strategic with the food sources that you choose to eat, so that you can get in calories a lot, but you can also then be able to eat again in 3 hours time without feeling totally stuffed. And maybe, if it's your final meal of the day, 3 Whoppers is not a terrible idea, because you're going to, assuming that you're really struggling to get the calories in, and having it at the last meal of the night is probably your best decision, because then you've got 10-12 hours before you have to eat again. But when it comes to junk food in the bulking season, I would be careful, because I think it's a trap for some people, because they think, yes, it's more calories, but they're not realizing that it's negatively impacting their ability to be able to eat frequently every 2 to 3 hours, 2 to 4 hours for the rest of the day. Big meals don't get you big. Frequent, moderate meals do. You need to be eating regularly. The best physiques in the world, the biggest guys, if they're not having 3 big meals a day, they're supplying the body with nutrients all the time, all day.
Well, what if you don't have time to supply all the food all the day because you're constantly working?
Are we gonna get in an argument saying that you're busier than me?
No. I mean, like, maybe there are other people who will tell you the same excuse.
Okay, well, like, in my mind, the more busy you are probably means the more work you're doing. And if you're doing that work smartly, the more money you should be making, correct? So in my mind, I would find someone that can prepare my meals for me. This is, people will say, oh, well, you've got Pump, it's easy. But they also forget that before I had Pump, I was also paying for someone to make all my meals for me, because I knew that in the 5 hours that it would take for me to make 3 days worth of meals, I can make more money in that 5 hours working than I could save by cooking those meals myself. So I don't like the, oh, I'm so busy as an excuse, because I think if you have a wealth mindset, you should be outsourcing tasks like cooking, cleaning, grocery stores, stuff like that. Get someone else to do it, get your meals prepped, so you really don't have to apply any thought to it. You've got meals in the fridge ready to go, or you've got meals getting delivered to you wherever you're working. So the idea of being busy is not an excuse. Every night I will order 6 meals from my restaurant, from Pump, and they'll be delivered first thing in the morning. And if I'm wherever I'm going, if I've got meetings, if I've got whatever, I take those meals with me, and there's no excuses to slip. And you don't need to have your own restaurant to do that, because, you know, anywhere in the world, they've got meal prepping options and meal delivery services, and you can get all of your meals taken to you with ease. It's going to cost you a bit of money, but if you're smart, you will take that time that you save and invest it into generating more income.
I'm the trillest one to do it since pimp.
No light sets.
Nigga put his hands on me, that's a man down. Trick what? Pimps up, hoes down, oh now, slow down. See they running
Everything heavy.
Profile, gold smell, you old now, thugging with my old style. It's a shame how they low down.
Getting stronger, you're probably getting bigger. Oh, that's fucking heavy.
No phones just to reach him, gotta beep him. I'm the Lord, motherfucker, better greet him if you see him. Lord, pretty Flacco Jordy. Niggas, how you been? Crushing our minds, niggas talk down every now and then. On the south, getting straight 9 times out of 10. Flacco, Jordy, Flacco, Jordy, Flacco, Jordy, Flacco, Jordy.
This is not just LeBron, this is common in many other athletes. I remember it was big news when Conor McGregor, early in his career, started paying for nutritionists to take care of all of his meals, and they're investing 100 to 250K per year to have their team or their nutritionist fly around the world with them and be preparing all their meals for them. It's because they understand, like, the fuel intake into the engine, that's the dictator of how well your car drives, and their vehicle, that defines how much money they make, and how many baskets they score each season, and the endorsement deals, and it's all linked to their success by how well they are running internally. So I just think it's crazy where you've got like people making good money that won't even make a small investment to get their meals prepared, just so that their body can be thriving and functioning and firing on all cylinders. It makes no sense to me, because when you feed your body shit, cognitively you're down, your well-being is down, energetically you're down. Eating well can allow you to make more money, because you can think better, you can work longer, you can work faster, you make faster decisions. It doesn't make sense to me when I see these like 7-figure business owners, saying that they're too busy to get their food, sourced for them, or to be able to eat good meals. The rich businessman that's getting like Chinese takeaway at the end of a long day, it's madness, absolute madness. Like you could be so much more productive if you're feeding the body right.
People watch me and they see the come up, like, you feel me? I never faked it, ever. You know what I'm saying? When I was down, I was down. As I'm coming up, I'm coming up.
Great Sean on the beat, by the way.
Get one of my staff to do the plates for me. Would I get hated on for that?
I think it's fine. It's
Probably a little.
You're in bulking season anyway. They're probably just gonna ask you more money. Then they'll be happy.
Hey, I'm happy to pay.
DJ, giving out shots, who won it? The game on lock, they know who run it. 2-3 shots, the 2-3 shots, how the crew run it. When the circle winning, please don't confuse the business with the sinning. In the corner, get to spinning. Please do not try to beef him without chicken. She wanna dance, but I do not dance. I told Chops, ooh, hold on. They know my time with no clock. We ain't showing no remorse. Catch him lacking, it's gonna be a body. We ain't showing no remorse. Catch him lacking, it's gonna be a body. I broke her back in the Maybach. Shorty horny, she told me to lay back, let my stop.
It's really going to change this year. Being able to like use equipment like this, which really focuses on the lat specifically, because I think I have quite a lot of like thickness, a lot of rhomboids and traps, erectors, but I was really lacking on width and lat taper. I was thinking about like, why is this the case? And I think I was just so limited by doing my prep in Bali with equipment that was really substandard, and just training on good pieces of equipment just feels so different, and I can really feel the area that I want to grow really engaged. I don't think I've really felt that on a consistent basis before. And logic would lead me to believe that if I'm feeling more engagement and more connection in the muscle that I want to grow, and not even just the muscle, but the exact area on the muscle that I want to grow, then it's going to be leading to some good growth, some better growth. I'm quite sure of that.
To the latest in the city, we don't gotta brag up on it, that's that. Checking the sound, they know I started it. She wanna hang like an ornament. We gon' get more than that. She expensive, so I'm affording it. Now tell them, get up with me. Hot and iffy. We be bringing out the city. We be bringing out the biddies. She wanna dance, but I do not dance. I told Chops, ooh, hold on. Ain't no my time with no clock, and we ain't showing no remorse. Catch him lacking, it's gonna be a body. We ain't showing no remorse. Catch him lacking, it's gonna be a body. She wanna dance, but I do not dance. I told Chops, ooh, hold on. Ain't no my time with no clock, and we ain't showing no remorse. Catch him lacking, it's gonna be a body.
What will be your advice for people who find it hard during bulking phase for them?
I mean, I think if you're really like pushing it to your limit, I think everyone's gonna find it hard. I certainly don't find it easy. I find it as challenging, if not more challenging, than prep to be able to like stay in it and endure it. But my advice would be, and I think this advice applies to not just bodybuilding, but really with any pursuit in life, often your fastest periods of growth are your most miserable periods of life. And if I think back to the hardest chapters of my life, that's always when I've made the biggest breakthroughs in progress shortly after. To win my pro card and to be able to be first call out at a pro show, I needed to get injured and lose my physique completely, and to be able to be taken to rock bottom, to be truly mentally tested, to harden my mind, to be able to condition myself to be able to apply the work rate and effort to be able to develop a physique that was worthy of that standard. I'm in the thick of a very challenging period of business right now, and people from the outside might look in it undefeated and go, wow, this is so amazing, congratulations, you're so lucky, what a beautiful gym. And maybe looking through glazed glasses. But the reality of it is, you know, the things behind the scenes and everything that you don't see has been pretty miserable. And I'd be lying if I didn't say most nights gone home from the gym after just feeling like problem after problem and headache after headache, just feeling totally crushed and not wanting to continue with this project any further. That's just brutal honesty. But I also remind myself that whenever I've suffered the most, there's been a euphoric outcome waiting shortly behind. So if you are in the thick of a building phase right now and things feel relatively miserable and it feels really hard, just remind yourself that when things feel really hard, that's often when your best growth and progress is happening.
Her hands all on my face. Bitch popped that ass in the coupe. That bitch got Lisa Leslie money. She ballin' Cheryl Swoops. She keep rubbing her nose. I can tell she wanna snoop. That coke make my dick numb. She put it all in her glutes. Feel like Bishop from Juice. Gun all in my boot, sayonara, feel the sauna when I blast her ass with that ooze. Ooh, blast her ass with that ooze. But I hope to God it ain't you. Trap law with about 10 Jeeps, no telling what I might do. I fucked your bitch, nigga, and she about to fuck my crew. She just finished with 12E, and now she off the loop. Pussy ass nigga wearing all black, claim they off the shoot. I pray to God he ain't lying, my gorillas live in this zoo. I got killers with the deuce. Them 10 boys, my niggas, they gon' ride with me too. Bust they nines with me too.
Well, that was good. Training is not the funnest when you're this heavy and bulked up, but the sets were good.
What's the plan after this?
My long-term plans, I think I need at least 8 more weeks of this, like pushing the build phase. That probably sounds like so short to some people, but it feels like fucking eternity to me when I'm like in the thick of not enjoying it. But something in my experience, and this happened to me when I pushed my weight up really fast last year before prep, is the size comes on really quickly and you're like full and round and everything, but if you just get to that peak and then immediately go down into prep, the muscle or the shape, at least for me, it deflates very quickly. Even though I feel like I'm at my biggest now, I feel like I need to stay there for a couple of months to actually let that new muscle marinate and stick. So that's what I'm trying to do differently this time compared to last off-season and prep, because I think I got really big in the off-season, but then so much of that size went away at the start of the prep. So my new plan for this time is to get to that new weight and that new size, which I'm there now, but then don't just go straight into a cleanup phase. Actually sit there for a bit, try and get comfortable at the weight, which I'm not sure will ever happen, but at least hang around at this weight for a little bit of time so that it can logically stay around when the food starts coming down at the start of the prep, which I think will be in around 8 weeks time. We gotta go eat. We gotta eat. That's the trouble with when you're pushing the food so high in the build. If you get a few hours behind on a meal, it's like game over. You can't catch up. Like you need to have the meals spaced. If you try and do like 2 meals of 1,000 calories close together, you're gonna get ruined. So I can't keep chatting shit for too long. We need to go, we'll go pump, we'll get our meals prepped for the rest of the day. And then we need to come back here, and we got some media shoots with some of the girl members at Undefeated. Now that the gym floor is basically done, it's time to start making a little bit noise about the gym, building a little bit more culture and energy, and putting some more investment into the brand itself. You know, I think strong brands are built by strong people. So my next focus is building the connections between our members and the brands, and that's what's going to really take us to the next level. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the gym floor. It's like 95% done, and from all of the feedbacks I'm hearing, people are really happy with it, and they like the training space, they like the hygiene, they like the cleanliness. We've got Kevin there using his antibacterial wipes on the bench after every use. Like little things like that. You know, we're all about professionalism, hygiene, like an element of luxury, but a big element of class as well, where you would expect, you know, top tier athletes to hang out. That's the arena I'm trying to build here. So the gym floor, honestly, I think it's about 95% done. I've got a few pieces of equipment coming next week, like a hip thrust and another row machine. We've got a hydration zone, an ice machine, and a mirror getting installed there. The posing room is getting refloored next week. And then in my mind, gym floor will be 100%. And next week, the target is to have the cafe, sports bar, chill area all done. which will be a pump protein bar that will do all our shakes, post workouts, and a really nice sofa booth area with a full-size big screen TV where we can watch sport, have special events. I want to hold a UFC meetup in a couple of weeks, put on some free shakes for people and build a little bit of a community in that area. I think because at the moment, because we had so many headaches and problems with the recovery area and the bathrooms, people are kind of just coming in to train and then leaving right away. And that was never my vision. My vision was to create a facility where you kind of want to hang out for most of your day. Come in the morning, do your cardio, have a meal, chat with some friends, work a bit if you want to, then lift some weights, get some sun, swim in the pool, do a recovery session, all-inclusive facility. That was the goal. So I'm excited to have the next step of having that, cafe area and sofa booth done, sofa area and chill zone, I should call it, done. So we can train, but then chat some shit after, have a shake, have a pre-workout before we hit a lift, stuff like that. I think that's where we're really going to start to feel the true vibe that the Undefeated was supposed to be.
Make money all day. Amen. Thank God that I bust that court case. Amen. I was so stressed, you could call me no surret. Done 100 raps with my shank so big. Amen. Coming straight out the mud. I was really running out of luck. You know it's different when you come. Yeah, I'm glad I changed my life. What goes around comes around. Started that robbing stuff. Looking in my Costa cup, only had £100. Let him go, run him down. Pussy say something now.